Welcome, gamers. Week 1, Season 12 is wrapped up, and we are back to doing weekly recap videos where we go through all the replays and see how everyone did. If you're not aware, we are changing up how we're doing the PRs this season. Our commissioner, Matt, is a very busy man these days, doesn't have time to do weekly videos, so I'm taking over. And so these are going to be less in-depth, not really PR videos, more just kind of recaps, going over the games, talking a little bit about plays I thought were interesting, and then a couple times throughout the season, Matt's going to come on and do a more formal PR and talk about standings. But for here, I just want to talk about the games, have fun, give you guys something to watch. And if you guys want to come guest star and join me on these, hit me up, let me know. So we had a lot of gaming this week. A lot of the games I will be watching for the first time with you here, so I don't have a whole lot to analyze them. So I figured we'd start with the first game, first set of Season 12, which was me versus Brian, and I can give some insight into this because I played it. So let's get on with it. So here we have two women leading, and my good friend Ilamise. My team's pretty basic, prankster, rain, tailwind guy with Archaladon. Two women we'll see is offensive this week, and in fact choice specs with supporting cast from Breloom, Appleton, and Sylveon. Brian, he's got some really interesting guys over here with Oricorio, Quiver Dance with Como, Dancer with Como, Clanger, Soul we'll see come into play. Some really interesting guys, still getting a feel for our teams this week, but I'll just let it play. So we see I go back to my roots of Season 1 with Prankster Fake Tears support. I get a lucky drop there, but he just switches out. I get my Tailwind up, and I proceed to hit or miss my Specs Muddy Waters. So double miss is tough. He gets Light Screen up, and here I forget who Alchemy is because I haven't seen it in many years. And Aromavale blocks Encore. Fun fact. Anyway. So I miss again. It's tough, but that's life. Poltegeist does very little, but now he's going to be stronger. It's slow Poltegeist we see, but I'm also fast Milotic. So I get my Rain up to boost my Muddy Waters because there's not much else I can do because I couldn't Encore. I go down there because of the Shadow Ball drop last turn, but now I'm activated. I have Rain up. Archaladon gets a boost from Electro Shot even when he doesn't hit anyone because that move is broken. He got the Curse Body on my Specs Tube Woman, so forcing me to switch out. We'll see that happens a couple times this set. So now I'm boosting in the rain. Kind of pushing through Light Screen while he's continuing to set up his guys with Decorate. Funny strats. Shout out JT. He loves that guy. Body press doing 15% is crazy. Earth Spray. So this guy's starting to get very scary. But not much else for me to do except keep blasting. And now he's not scary anymore. So after draft night, I looked at my team and I was in a bit of despair because I didn't know what my team did. I didn't see the synergy. And I guess I just kind of forgot that Archaladon is very good on his own. And so I'm going to be relying on him a lot this season, it seems. So I get my seeds off, but not much else happens. Body Press bounces off. Why did I press Body Press instead of the Dragon move? Who's to say? AV coming in very clutch here to kind of eat these, and I finally kill Alchemy. And then here I do another oopsie, and I hit the soundproof with the sound move. And I'm Specs, so it's a real problem, so it makes I have to switch out. And he's got Drain Punch, so longevity, so Leech Seed isn't going to necessarily win the game here. But I am Sashed, which lets me get a Cheeky Spore off before Poison kills me. But he is Safety Goggles, and so now everything is looking quite bleak. But then Tube Woman comes in, specs Icy Wind to give me some speed control. 35 is very strong, and that wraps it up. Seeing that his Como is not very fast, so it must be defensive for Tube Woman to outspeed even at neutral, which will come into play in later games as well. Shout out Tube Woman for getting the majority of the kills there, and Archaladon for doing more. So we get to game 2, and game 2 does not go as well for me. He decides to just lead these guys, and I basically lose immediately, because what do I do, go for double setup? Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I was doing here. And he reveals he's Encore too, and now it's really looking bleak for me. Recover for something. Yeah, now everyone is going to die. Oh wow, Tim actually eating that up. Good job, Tim. But I'm still locked into Calm Mind, so it doesn't matter. And yeah, he Trick Room's on my Tailwind, so it's pretty obvious. And then I just knew everything was lost, so I figured I'd save us some time. Yeah, Brian gets the 6-0 on me. Pretty debilitating mentally, but let's see if I can bounce back or not. So I lead off with this other combination I have, besides Illumise with Tailwind Rain to set up Archaladon. I also have funny Bullet Seed Breloom to hit into my Archaladon. And so here I see this. I was not aware that that Clanger's Soul was a dance move, but it is, and that's cool. But I go for the Dragon Pulse right off the rip, knowing that Como is a big threat. And I do the side Bullet Seed for the quad resist move that multi-hits and activates my stamina. I only get 2 because I'm Focus Sash and not Loaded Dice. Let me go back a couple turns. Yeah, so here I make a good play, knowing that, Brian knows that Breloom here has Mach Punch, so obviously I want to get the kill on Como, but he has his Oricorio there to pick me off, and so he's likely to go for a Protect. So I go for a Protect of my own, kind of baiting that out, and then I think I get the kill on Oricorio here. Oh no, it just kind of bounces off. But now I get the kill there. Breloom goes down, but Breloom did its job. Flash Cannon there, just kind of cover, switches, send it a kill, and now it's time to get going. Extra shot, crit. I don't know, maybe mattered. I'm sure Brian will tell me if it did. Yeah, not much else to say here except it's time for my guy to start going. I don't go for Tailwind because I am aware that he's just going to get Trick Room up, so there's no point. And so he gets his light screen up, but at this point, Archaladon's just kind of unstoppable at this point. Oh, never mind. I'm a liar. Pretty obvious Protect, kind of silly on me. Will-O-Wisp was a good play, but unfortunately the accuracy drops from Muddy Water, and then he curse bodies me again, which is funny. I think I actually stay in here, which is a silly play, and I struggle forgetting about Drenset, but luckily the accuracy drops are helping me out. Can't Body Press, which is my only attacking move on Appleton, and so all I can do is get my seeds up, which should be enough. Yeah, and the forfeit there, knowing the Encore can come, and it's just a matter of time. So, fun set. We're still feeling out our teams. I think we both took a lot out from this, kind of figuring things out. Brian has some room to kind of play around with his team. He's got an interesting Trick Room mode, but I think his fast mode is just as scary, if not scarier, with things like, Shell Smash, Poltergeist, Como with Tailwind support from Oricorio and things. It'll be interesting to see how he adapts moving forward. Right, so up next we have David versus Dante. I did not watch these sets. I kind of just skipped to the end when they were posted, so let's see what goes on. But I have a feeling. Ndidi Malamar. Smeargle, Scrafty. What is going to happen? Scrafty eating that surprisingly well. Obviously, Ndidi typically not offensive, but still, it's squad week. It's not AV. It doesn't eat 2. Dante's team very slow, so it seems. Meanwhile, the kind of quintessential Trick Room and DD guys more speed oriented, so it seems. Yeah, he's gonna press Expanding Force on Malamar. I don't know what his special attack is, but that's interesting. Maybe it's good. But yeah, this Malamar looks like it is going to just win the game, and yeah, this game is over. Flat. Yeah. Alright. Good job, David. So we'll see how we adapt in game 2. Garganacl out early with Mimikyu. Get your SD up. Very cool. Volcarona Tailwind into die to Earth Power from Blood Moon. Yeah. Cool dodge. Shadow Ball with SD is, yeah. And Belly Drum. You're going to take a lot of damage. Yeah. Cell Rock is funny. I like that for fighting Volcarona. Water on Volk didn't really matter. Alright, so it's not a 12-0, so we love to see that. But now these assholes are back, Malamar and Duty. Shout out David for being Terrain's #1 hater, but then drafting Terrain. I see you, David. There's 28. Oh my god. Yeah, cleaned up pretty well. So shout out David. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens as the weeks go on. Right. I think I'm back. I had some weird shit going on recording wise, but we're back here with Chris versus Aaron. What is going on? Orthworm is coiling up. The Italians are yelling. Ninetales is a water type. Seeing a lot of special moves on traditionally physical guys, and I have questions. But interesting freeze there. Lucky. But flip turning on the water type, not freeze drying the water type. I guess Giga Drain has it on lock anyway. So Chris wins that round. Very good. And let me lock in for game two. Let me give some actual good analysis. All right. So we know Infernape has Thunder Punch. We saw it game one. Does Raichu have Lightning Rod? I guess we're gonna find out. Oh no, we won't. In the room, change the weather. Thunders can miss. Meteor Beam doing half to Gliscor is still pretty impressive. I like the Discharge ground type combo. Tried and true. Doesn't get any paras. It's tough. Gliscor is going to do what Gliscor does, which is live forever. I guess the para on Ninetales, which actually might make him slower than Gliscor in Trick Room. It does, so that para actually kind of sucked. Yeah, Raichu just not doing a whole lot of damage with his moves. I want to get your Rain Guy in, I get it. But now he's going to take some chip. Aqua Jet, Trick Room was over. You could just use your strong move. You don't need priority. Worm coming in. Giga Drain doing so much damage. Life Orb, Arboliva. Maybe I'm not respecting you as much as I should be. This guy's crazy. I do like the Arboliva pick, the more I think about it. Having, terrain in a world where terrain setters are rare, scarce, and expensive is a good pickup. Alright, so we see 5v2. Can Raichu do it? Well, it can't drop Thunders anymore. I see it's just going to help out Murkrow to press special moves, but it will not press anything because, again, Ninetales was paired. So, good set. Good shit from Chris. We didn't get to see Dondozo or Tatsugiri do anything yet, but we anxiously await their presence in this season. Alright, up next we got Frank versus Bannon. Frank's got some real scary guys like D-Knight out here with Eruption Man, and I'm assuming there's going to be some Sunny Day action coming from Grafaiai to set up really strong eruptions. Bannon got some real interesting dudes. I love Grimmsnarl with his prankster shenanigans. I miss him dearly. He used to be my guy back when we did mono type seasons early on. But let's see what happens. Again, I didn't watch this set, so it's going to be kind of my first see. Funny parting shot into mirror armor to force. Oh, okay, interesting. So it's not like magic bounce, it just doesn't get the drops on Corviknight, it gets the drops on you, but it still switches you out. Okay, interesting. Wind Power, Kilowattrel is really cool. I've expecting it to be strong, but we see more parting shot happening to at least mitigate some of that damage and the light screen, so he's protecting himself well from the onslaught of special attackers that Frank has on his team. Double Shock instantly kills a Prim. I like that a lot. I don't like the Dazzling Gleam as much, but that's okay. This is a fire type. Don't press fairy moves into it. Alright, so we see the Arcanine is here to kill people. It is, in fact, Rockhead Head Smash, which is awesome. Nice Terra. Love the Terra Fairy there. Kilowatt reveals its Sash, and Braper just races Toedscruel. But now Tailwind with Typhlosion here is going to do a lot of damage, and I like the Endeavor on Kilowatt a lot, especially compared with this guy to clean up all the other kids. But Fake Out comes out to take care of that bird. Light screen's already up, a little oopsie from Bannon's part, but that's okay. We all make mistakes. One turn of Tailwind left. I like the Shadow Sneak to weaken the Eruption. The Spirit Break is neat to get the stat lowered, but maybe it would have been better hitting. Well, I guess if your only offensive move is Spirit Break, it didn't really matter who you hit. I like the Terra Dark to be immune to Prankster. And I guess the Ghost moves there too. So it looks like Grafai is going to clean this up with Typhlosion pressing what I'm assuming is Specs Eruption. Alright, so some good stuff. Looked like Bannon was leading that game, and then good adaptation from Frank and a couple oopsies from Bannon kind of tilted the tides. But let's see what happens in game 2. We see Kilowatt lead again with Grafai this time, same lead. This time Grim and Arcanine here to just kind of start killing people off the rip. I like that idea. I don't know how I feel about that parting shot. Oh, I guess you have Fake Out now. You head smash. Oh, maybe I would have head smashed into that bird because you saw it give you a lot of trouble last time. But that's fine too. Kill the Prim. We never get to see what Prim does. Volt Switch does a lot to Corviknight. You see Stomping Tantrum come out, which is neat tech, and Typhlosion just blowing things up. One more turn of Tailwind is going to do a lot. Do you have Protect on the dog? No, it's probably Banded, if I had to guess. Stomping Tantrum going to erase it from existence, quad weak. And now it's looking quite tough for Bannon to recover. Parting Shot to mitigate some damage. But I fear this Eruption is still going to do way too much damage. Dragonite seems like it's banded, otherwise why would you keep pressing Stomping Tantrum? And just not doing enough damage. Typhlosion is just here to press buttons. Yeah, definitely banded. That's all she wrote, so a bit of a shellacking on game 2. Frank kind of found his groove, and Bannon didn't adapt well enough to counteract that. But good stuff. I like a lot of the technology in both these teams. And so, Frank, I'll see you this week. Better be ready. All right, and so I think this is the last set of the Scarlet Conference. We got Crispy Will versus Izzy, new player in our league this season. So let's see what we got going on here. Will bringing his funny tech of neutralizing gas with slacking. So I see we have funny Weezer names. I like that. Bramblin's here with Whimsicott, so get some Wind Rider Tailwind action, perhaps. Nope, Whimsicott's going to run away. Double Edge is going to erase anything in its path. That's not a ghost type. Poltergeist does a lot of damage. I always see its life orb. Heat Wave is a wind move. So this Bramblegast is Infiltrator, I guess. So tough loss. Oh, we know this thing is Specs. That's neat. Specs Wheezing is really cool tech. I've seen it on some B2C teams, which is perhaps maybe where Will got the idea. Arcanine comes out, gets an Intimidate off, very nice. Preserves Wheezing, which is neat. And I guess I didn't know this is how slacking and neutralizing gas works. So even though this is the second turn and now neutralizing gas isn't here, Truant doesn't activate. And so I'm learning some things here. Now Wheezing comes back to turn it back on so he doesn't get Truanted. Alright, I understand. So it gets throw off strong knockoff before slacking dies. And missed Wisp. This kind of sucks, but I don't think it mattered too much. Oh, no, it did matter. That's tough. because the chip would have killed Wheezing. But clean it up this time. Now we got Weavile versus Sneasler, old versus new. People's abilities are back. CC coming out to kill the Dark Ice type, as it would. Alright, so we see Prankster, Helping Hand always goes first anyway. Into the speed. One's got Living that Brave Bird, pretty impressive. And shout out Arcanine living that as well, so not bad. I like the Protect. It's a good Protect too. Oh, and everyone's protecting. Yeah, good from Izzy to call out the Protect on the Sneasler. Tough para, but I think at this point it's kind of a wrap anyway. Yeah, Bird just cleans it up. So, good stuff from Will and his funny tech. Go to game 2. Here we see Chunk Bunker coming out. Hisui Avalug, possibly some of the worst typing in history. But he's out here. Goddamn, once again, Toxicroak dies immediately. So we never get to see what Toxicroak had going on. Unfortunate. Rocks up in doubles is neat. And so we've seen a little bit of hazards this week, which is cool. As a DPP enthusiast, I love getting my rocks up. Is it good in doubles? I mean, maybe when you have a fire type and an ice type that you're fighting, and they're not going to be boots, because why would you be boots in doubles? Maybe it's the move. Eviolite Electabuzz just showing that it doesn't care about anything that Arcanine wants to do. This definitely seems like not that offensive, maybe, or just maybe Electabuzz is that guy. So Burn Chip, I suppose. Yeah, me and Leftovers Arcanine, so it's not that offensive. Unfortunate full para, but I'm not sure. I'm assuming this has Moonblast as its last move, otherwise it can't really do much. Tailwind up, but unfortunately with these guys, it seems like they're going to sit here for a while and burn your turns. Another full para, tough. Little by little, Electabuzz will fall. 5 E-speeds used, it's fine. The next one, surely. Wait. Am I stupid? I guess Heat Wave, I guess that doesn't work. Oh, I'm very stupid. Wheezing was out, so Wind Rider didn't work. Alright, I'm dumb. I'm sorry. I'm really going to have to lock in when I play Will, because I always forget about Neutralizing Gas Wheezing bullshit. Even when I'm running Neutralizing Gas Wheezing, I always forget. $58 Shadow Sneak to Wheezing. Alright. Bramblin, you're kind of cooking. Well, it was nice knowing you. But without Wheezing, Slacken can't do anything this turn except leave or die. Or just live Icicle Spear. Yeah, so Will is selecting to sack this because he can clean up with Sneasler in the end. And the Chunk Bunkler really just seems to be able to do whatever it wants here. Never mind. Shout out No Shoes for cleaning it up. And so now we have 2v2, Parrot, Arcanine. But Para doesn't matter, and minus 10 million speed doesn't matter when you have E-speed. But the CC will clean up, yeah. So good stuff from Will. good performance by Izzy. I like a lot of this stuff. I wish we got to see what Toxicroak did. Um, but that, I believe, concludes the Scarlet Conference. And now we move on to... I think that is, right? You know what? Yeah. And so now we move on to the Violet Conference. And so here we have Jordan versus Lily. Jordan with her mouse friend. Lily with... I don't know, which of these guys are your friends, Lily? Let me know. So we see Porygon with Sunny Day to turn off Politoed Rain. Some neat tech. Bringing in your Gyarados into the sun. That's fine if you don't want to press water moves. And water moves don't seem that great against Jordan. Fortress, again, we are seeing a lot of hazards. We are primarily a singles league, and so we see that here now with hazard stacking and doubles. But look at that, 3 layers of spikes on the field. Fortress has taken 0%. Politoed, living the Draco, going to bed. Poisoned +1 Gara, so he's got to kind of do something now, otherwise he doesn't do anything, so he will die next turn, I think. But the best water resist possibly in the format, Hydrapple gets to come in for free. Interesting choice to Flower Trick there, I guess. I mean, do you not have Triple Axle? Maybe, I don't know. Triple Axle seemed pretty free. Sucker. So we see this thing is Overgrow, not Protean. I'm doing Chip. I like it. Camel in the rain. Look out. 6% heat crash is crazy. I get to turn the sun off, which is nice. Now Mousehold dies to heat crash. Very cool. Do Chip on Bask, but that surf is still going to kill Camerupt, even in the sun. And now rain is up, and Jordan looks like she's just going to clean this up. No regard for Politoed. Larry coming out, pressing very strong Shadow Ball, but then Larry dies to Dragalge, so these two are just killing their friends. It's hard to see. And then Pickle Beam to clean it out, and good job, Jordan, on a pretty decent upset. Let's see if she can keep it going in game 2. Selecting the lead, Hydrapple, Mouse, Camel, and Cat lead as well. So we see Endure into Anger Point on the Camel. But looks like some things are not going as Lily had hoped. Oh, yes, I remember. I was here for this one. This is Custap Camel, but it did not get into range from the Flower Trick. And so now you have to kind of protect this turn, but we're also learning some new stuff here. You cannot protect and endure, or at least they share the same cooldown. So if you try to endure after a protect, it's the same as trying to get a double protect. And so we see Endure fail here, and poor Camel doesn't get to do anything with his power. Hydrapple now at +4, very strong. Dunsparce gets taunted, but as we learn later, it is Specs. Yeah, shout out Larry killing. Larry kills his own friend, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Boom Burst is coming out. This thing did so much damage. Stab, Boom Burst, Specs. It's crazy. But Vascular Legion is a ghost type, so it gets to live. Sludge Wave, once again, killing your own cat. Ice Beam doing nothing to Dragalogy, which... Is that AG? I don't know. Sucker doesn't get the kill. Ice Beam will clean up. That's what gets to do its redirection. I'm assuming this thing is locked into Ice Beam, otherwise it wouldn't be pressing it still. Balls and Ken, Politoed, X, Fortress, clean up. Fortress becomes a fighting type. Politoed tries to go for a cheeky Encore. Body pressing into the Gyarados and not the normal type. Questionable. Getting locked into Encore. I don't think it's really going to be pressing anything else anyway. So this is looking like Lily can clean up, although she did just Terra normal in front of something pressing Body Press. But then we see Hypes stab Terra normal Hyper Beam. Very funny. And pretty safe here because Gyarados can just clean up next to it. Cool, so we go to game 3. Good adaptation from Lily. She said that she wished she cooked a little bit more with this team, but making it work with what she's got. We learned that Dunsparce is Specs, but it has Recover and Calm Mind on it, so a bit of an oopsie there. So Power Trick early, Ice Beam kind of bouncing off Sprigatito, and so, but it's enough when you kill your friends. And Fortress getting the hazards up. Terra Fight again off the rip. I don't know, but it's fine. The Boom Burst would have done enough to where it would have gotten picked off anyway. Oh, and again, it doesn't matter if you take chip on your guys if you're just going to kill them yourself. Hydrapple coming in, doesn't really care about the Surfs that are coming out from Vascular Legion, so I like this synergy a lot. Guys, we gotta talk about killing our friends. Stop killing your friends. You need them. If you want to press Earthquake, put a bird next to you. If you want to surf, get a Water Absorbmon or Hydrapple. Pickle Beam cleans up Dragalogy. We get to see the Custap. Here it comes. Earthquake. We need to have a talk. And then Boom Burst to kill your friend. Can the normal type defeat the fighting type? The answer is no. So, shout out Jordan with a pretty big upset week 1. Very good win. Lily, you gotta cook your teams a little bit more. And both of you, please stop killing your friends, or at least run Protect on your friends so you can press these spread moves. Alright, now we have a grudge match of grudge matches. We got JT versus Matt. So, another great game. Let's see how we go. Matt's team, one of the most broken drafted teams that I've ever seen. With Indeedee, Armarouge, Ursaluna, Budget Incineroar, Immabostiff, Serp for contrary shenanigans. JT electing to draft some of his good friends, or at least his one good friend, Baxcalibur, back. And we're going to see JT loves this guy, Scovillain, and so I'm excited to build with him throughout the year, the season, and see how he's going to make this guy work. So we see an instant Terra Dark to live that. We see Power of Meteor Beam off the rip. Barraskewda Sashed gets to live a hit, which is neat. But now we're in Trick Room. Barraskewda cannot press Aqua Jet. Volbeat getting out of there. And Oranguru gets to come in. One of the best mons you could ask for in a Trick Room Psychic Terrain setting when you're fighting this. Gets a lucky double protect there to keep Barraskewda alive and stall out Trick Room. But Barraskewda will be weakened by the Intimidate, but getting a lucky defense drop and just getting off good chip. Azumarill comes in and Scovillain is here, and now we see that this is not huge power. It is in fact Sap Sipper for this specific mon. And so shout out JT, your tech worked. But we see Taunt Mabostiff, so Scovillain doesn't get to do its funny spicy extract, which has really cool synergy with Azumarill's Sap Sipper. Colbur Berry, it's a good tech to live dark moves and, deal with knockoff. Ice Spinner, cool to remove the terrain. Scovillain lives Headlong Rush because he's not Guts boosted, so good job Scovillain. And now he will never be Guts boosted, so real good awareness there, although I don't know if he has a water move on Azumarill. It looks like he doesn't need it. Azumarill's positioned quite well if he can get around Finesse Plug, which Trick Room is now over. But that's a good Glare to come out, but Instruct gets... Oh, nope, he gets full parried. So Azumarill doesn't get to play. That's unfortunate there from on JT's side, but it was a good Glare. Kind of forgot Superior can do that. Instruct Glaive Rush is some cool tech, so you get to do your big blast multiple times. And with Life Orb, Finesse Plug, now it's Ursaluna, who's not Guts boosted versus Baxcalibur, gets Helping Hand boost Icicle Crash, lives through Reflect, but Headlong is not going to kill without Guts, and so Baxcalibur wins. So real good shit from JT. Big upset. I didn't really expect Matt to drop any games this entire season, and so it's nice to see that it's doable. All right, game 2. Let's see how Matt adapts. Intimidate off the rip, which is great. So Mabostiff doing a lot of good work. Likes to keep it in. Okay, yeah. So Azumarill without huge power, not very strong, and not boosted by Sap Sipper boosts or whatever. Yeah, 17 because Reflect is up. Reflect on Superior was a great call, and I think Matt realized that game 1 and said, "Wow, if I get Reflect up, I can deal with JT's entirely physical team much better." So here we see Psyspam doing Psyspam things. Imprison, cool tech. Doing Imprison Trick Room. So it can't be turned off, or it can't protect. Not going back up, which is good. Break the terrain, I like it, but man, Azumarill really needs help. It's just not offensive without boosts from Spicy Extract. I got the lucky, got the surprise one, game 1 because he didn't know that it was Sap Sipper, but now Matt's not going to let him do that, and you have to really position yourself well with Scovillain to get the boosts. Lucky miss there for JT. Looking to keep his Superior. I guess to Glare later. Otherwise, I don't. Or get Reflect back up, maybe. But 5v2, it's looking like a wrap. Yeah, Azu just goes down. DD goes up, but it's just Baxcalibur, I don't think, can do it on his own. Doubles is too good, especially since it has Flash Cannon specifically for Baxcalibur, and you have Redirection. It's over. So great adaptation from Matt into game 2. He started to understand, I guess, what he needed to do to beat JT's team. Let's see if JT can get a second win here, or has Matt done too much downloading? We see Clear Amulet pop up from Bax. It's a good one for him to have. And we reveal Taunt, which I don't know if we've seen that yet. Meteor Beam just erases back Excalibur. And so without Bax, it's going to be real tough. Crunch doing good half to Oranguru, and Oranguru just doesn't have the offensive pressure to really scare these guys. Ice Fang, I don't know if that crit mattered. Feels unlikely that it did. So Serp being gone is nice, because now we don't have to worry about Reflect. Get your Rain up to do big damage. 67. God, DD's the worst. Hate that guy. Volby getting out of there, giving Mabostip more HP thanks to his berry. Skullvillain has to eat a crunch. Doesn't really want to. So they trade their redirectors. Skullvillain not getting to do Spicy Extract. Unfortunate for JT. Thunderbolt doing too much. Cycling U-turns. Defense drop, I don't think matters in the long run. JT trying to keep Barrascuda alive to get out of Trick Room, but I don't think there will be enough gas left in the tank, even if he does, especially with Rain gone. Yeah, this is over, unfortunately. Play rough there, I'm assuming, to call out the Terra, but he doesn't need the Terra. You can just Intimidate to weaken these guys even more. 35. Yeah, it's a wrap. David, real happy that his GOAT Finesse Plug getting off the Goob Nut this... Yeah, there he is. So, real good set. Interesting tech. I'm sure JT will get his beloved Pepper to get engaged in later weeks. And Matt, your team is broken. So, good job drafting. All right, moving on. We have Ernest versus Vivi. A battle of two of my absolute goats. Vivi here has a really interesting team of Frengard, Clefairy, Zoroark, Hisui, Palafin, and of course we have to have Sinistcha here. Hatchrim, very interesting pickup. Reminder for people who forget, people like me, Hatchrim is not a Fairy type yet. It is only Psychic type. While Ernest over here has the funny monkey. He's got Garchomp, Mr. Stoice, Overquill, and of course David's favorite Pokemon, Comfy. So we see lead out Overquill's, I think, a really good pickup by Ernest here. It offers Intimidate, Pressure, you can do Toxic Stalling, and it can, I think, be quite offensive too. Hydreigon here, I think is one of his Terra Captains. Terra Water off the rip with Palafin to protect. Here we see an Oopsie Daisy. Oh no, I guess not an Oopsie Daisy. No, this was actually Vivi being very intelligent and bringing in your Magic Bounce user on the Toxic Spikes that were definitely obvious because hazards are very good in doubles. Great taunt on the Clefairy, so it can't really do anything. Barbarage to 34, getting the poison off, which is nice. But we see Icy Wind to do speed drops primarily. Good support. Oricorio boosting up, eating the Barbarage, and we see this Clefairy has not one but 2 offensive moves. Very unusual. But in this specific instance of being taunted, very good. We get to see Baton Pass or Choreo, very funny tech, into Sinistra, who gets to heal up Clefairy, keep it alive. Oh my god, Barbarage. It's too strong though, erases Clefairy from existence, but now you have the other small pink thing in to do damage. Sinistra going to do, oh my god, I was going to say do what Sinistra does, but that was a crazy crit. But lives, which is what matters. Focus Blast miss, doesn't really matter. Matcha Gotcha gonna get some good healing. I think... Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm very dumb. I've been watching this this Hatcham Press Focus Blast, which I don't even know if it's a move it gets. In fact, I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So, yeah, that should have been pretty obvious that this is not Santa Claus, in fact. And we got to see that here. That it is the Grink. The Grink does not stick around very long. Sinistra, on the other hand, is going to live forever. Comfy going to die from the toxic, or the poison damage, I think. Yeah. And so I think Ernest now realizing that this Sinistra is a big threat, but perhaps a little too late to now where it's just gonna keep going. Barbarage it, I guess, hoping to fish for poison, but I think you just had to keep chopping its throat. But now it's just going to be able to strength stab its way back to full. Matcha Gotcha. This is a big problem now. Lucky Dodge. Yeah, Ernest now has decided he wants to kill this thing, but now it can just strength stab back to full. Grassy Glide doing 64. So Palafin gets to live and just erase Overquill from existence. Tower Water Wave Crash is a drug. It's very strong. Blastoise, look out. Dropping the speed of this, the Sinistra I like because it was just running away with things, but at this point I think the damage is done. 3v4 everyone's poison. Blastoise doesn't have a whole lot to do. Jet Punch gets a lucky crit. Gets a flinch in return, but this is going to be tough for Ernest to bounce back from, I think. Especially rock sliding into this grass type who is just decimating Ernest's team this whole time. Now it's Hydreigon versus the world. Gets this kill that probably should have happened many turns ago. But now gets parried for its troubles, and now Revelation Dance should pick up the kill on the Terra Steeled Hydreigon. Yes. So good shit from Vivi here. Sinistra being the undisputed MVP of that game. We need to see some adaptation from Ernest's side, right? Identifying these threats and not letting them sit there forever, I think, is going to be very important for his success in the next game. So let's see how our players change their strategies for game 2. Alright, Palafin lead again. Protecting instead of switching out immediately. Blastoise trying to get some speed control. Oh, and it's the Grink. Oh, Vivi's really cooking here with this tech. Roaring the Palafin out instead of flip turning. I guess it probably doesn't have flip turn because you want to run a lot of different moves, and so we know Protect, Wave Crash, Jet Punch, I don't know what its last move is, but probably not another water move. So getting it out safely instead of hard switching, you roar into something random. She's cooking. Is it a masterpiece? I don't know. It's interesting. Or Corio takes a Draco to the dome. Uh, Meanwhile, the Grink gets to throw off blasts. And so Hydreigon looks very strong in this matchup. I think Ernest did not utilize it enough in game one. And so now he's keeping it healthy, he's protecting it, get it out of there, let it come back. Palafin is here to do crazy damage, but gets to heal it off, which is nice. Clefairy is going to mitigate the Grassy Glide damage, but I think he should stay in a Woodhammer at that point to do damage. But I don't hate the Intimidate to weaken this thing. Comfy comes in. We see the fish has Taunt as its fourth move. This Clefairy electing to do chip damage with its offensive moves. Giga Drain doing only 32. I think I like the awareness, I guess, from Ernest that this thing is going to taunt my Comfy most likely, so I can't get a Calm Mind off, so I might as well start doing chip. Now Green Tea and Ham is in. You gotta be aware of that threat. Gets a good poison on Santa Claus. Like, this is what destroyed you last time. This is not going to do enough damage, and it's going to Strength Sap and Calm Mind and Boost. I don't know if it has Calm Mind, actually, so it might not. Trying to taunt the Magic Bouncer. We're learning. Gets Hydreigon in, which is really good. Because you gotta start. Yeah, you just gotta immediately target down this thing. Because it's going to be a pain. Right? It's what single-handedly destroyed you game one. And so I like that awareness. Bring in Hydreigon, make use of it. Alright, Vivi's team's pretty slow outside of the Grink. Good Scout Protect to discover that this is in fact not Sam. Yeah, the Mist didn't matter against Fairy types. I wouldn't have done that much. Wave Crash into Blastoise is 65. This guy is crazy. We got Trick Room off, which is neat. Fake Out, I like. Punch kills the Stoise. Electing to kill the Grink instead of the Palafin is a choice I probably wouldn't have made, but it worked out. Because now you have Palafin in with Clefairy. But you have, I mean, it's a 5v2, so you should be okay. And you're in Trick Room, so you don't have to necessarily press Grassy Glide. You could go for a Woodhammer if you have it. Good Taunt on Clefairy. Now I can't do much, but again, this thing does have two offensive moves. Double the Palafin, maybe? Yeah, to make sure it stays in range for a Grassy Glide kill. It's a good live. You read the Protect. You do. Good job, Ernest. Yeah, now it's a wrap. So great adaptation from Ernest in Game 2, identifying the threat of Sinistcha. Corio dying immediately was nice, so you didn't get the QD baton pass into it. But yeah, I think using Hydreigon and not letting a major threat just kind of sit around are going to be very important. So let's see if Ernest can keep it up, or if Vivi will pick up Game 3. Okay, Oricorio coming out and Clefairy, although it's always a interesting question of who is who with Zoroark hanging around. Well, we know that this is Oricorio because it just copied the Garchomp's SD. Very funny. Dancer copies even the opponent's dancing moves. Um, and in a world where this Oricorio has Baton Pass, this it's getting a little spooky. Busting 47 to Garchomp. Double miss Rock Slide. Garchomp is a paid actor. BB paid off Garchomp to make sure Ernest lost because that was a huge miss because if that Rock Slide hit Oricorio, all of a sudden Palafin doesn't have +2. It's baby Palafin, so it's not as scary, but still, I don't know what his attack stat is, but it's still pretty strong. Protect on the Jet Punch. Icy Wind comes in. Fake Out is good, so Garchomp can do some damage. That probably puts it in a... No, just kidding. It's not going to be in Grassy Glide range now, especially with Clefairy next to it. Dex, knock off the Eviolite. That's fine. Line to 63. Wave Crash erases Garchomp, but will probably die to recoil. Yep. So an interesting trade. Tough. Garchomp would, not have had to make that trade, at least that early, if he did miss Rock Slide. But hey, that's Pokemon, right? Hydreigon in, but now slow. Terra Stealing in front of the Oricorio is ballsy. And Quiver Dance is going to allow it to live. Not sure why the Terra, because you resist Revelation Dance as a Dragon type, and you do not when you're not a Dragon type. But Clefairy being real annoying, Friend Guard, and just light doing it back to full. David hates the Clefable line. He's here making sure everyone knows. Now we're back to what looks like game 1 with Green Eggs and Ham boosted. Gets the poison immediately, which is nice. But as we've seen with this thing with boost and getting the burn on Overquill, and Ernest electing to try and kill the Hatchram instead of the +1/+1/+1 finish job. Now Throat Chops aren't going to do enough. Hydreigon's going to live this. Now he realizes the mistake that he made, but now it's a bit too late. Without Hydreigon, there's really nothing to challenge this Sinistcha. More cool tech from Vivi here, skill swapping the Magic Bounce, so he can get, she can get Intimidate to weaken the Rillaboom, so he can live this knockoff. And how can Ernest get himself out of this one? I mean, Comfy's still here, 100%. So I think if he started Calm Minding, there was a chance. But now it's Parrots. It's going to be tough. Machagacha is going to erase Blastoise. Oh, he dodges, which is nice. So I think Ernest goes for a Calm Mind here, but I think it's a bit too late. Oh, we got Stricker enough. So it's cool. Giga Drain again on this guy. It's not going to do enough. Takes away his triage, which is funny. And BB with the skill swap chain to get triage onto Sinistcha for Matcha Gotcha. That's some heat. We love to see it. The game was definitely over well without doing that, but it's very funny, and I love the technology. Brian somewhere cheering. Burns Rillaboom for good measure. Yeah, this game is a wash. Great performance from VV. Um, Real good shit. Very funny, real funny tech. And Ernest, you gotta use your brain a little bit more in doubles, I think. But it's all right there. Moving on, we have Hall versus who the fuck is Scrub Cabbage? Oh, Josh. Sorry, the other newcomer. That makes sense. So I wouldn't know who you are. Right. So we got another new player, Hall, our resident BGC player. He's got some Lily Cole action, but it wouldn't be a Hall team without some fucking dudes on it. And so we see Slowpoke and Bruxish and Avalug here. So let's see what Hall is cooking here. Josh's team, we got T-Tar electing to keep Excadrill at home. Him on top, Intimidator, Goldengo's here, Gastrodon, Mandibuzz, and Cinderace. Yeah, he's got some cool guys. Libero, smack down Cinderace. Become a rock type. Gets the defense boost from Sand. Alright, I can see it. And, rock is a good coverage move for the fire types that Hall has. Becomes a bird, erases Blaziken. This is some classic T-Tar double shit, yeah. Table's in, becomes a fighting type in front of the bird. But I guess that's better than being an ice type in front of the fighting rocks. All electing to not care too much about Lilligant, or at least, we got faked out, so there's not much you could do. And he dodged. Never mind. Hall didn't sack him. He missed Sleep Powder. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry. Bruxish is here. The table is here. I don't know what to make of this. Bruxish doing a lot of damage. Shout out Strongjaw. Getting our rocks up. We love hazards and doubles. I get it. You're fighting Torkoal, so you want to chip it so it can't eruption. Crunch doing a lot to Goldengo. Cleans it up with High Horse. This is what Hall does. He brings weird dudes and then they kill you. Foul play, good tech on Mandibuzz, classic. And here we got the hot tamale. Wide guard, good pull to dodge the Snarl that was coming out. CC does 19. And Trick Room's up. That's basically, that's what Slowpoke does, yes. And he's got Heal Pulse. Now the table is back at full. Oh, this is some devious work. Yeah, might as well get him at 100. Slowpoke can't really do anything else. And you can't taunt him. He's oblivious. Trick Room will go up. Avalug not doing a whole lot of damage, but, it's fine. He's at 100. skill swap to take the Intimidate. Funny. Unfortunately, it does not lower the attack of Hitmontop because he is now himself oblivious. Snarl's not really doing much, and this is just a slow death by Avalugg. Yeah, might as well heal him up. I love it. Ice Spinner not killing Cinderace. Slowpoke getting to dodge that. Doesn't matter, he died to sand. And yeah, Torkoal and Trick Room gets to do what he does. But good wide guard coming out here to prevent that. Yeah, no, this is pretty... Oh, and we see Weather Ball come out, so this is not Specs Torkoal, it's something else. Oh, we had Protect. I guess we knew that already. Alright, so Hall killing people with his funny dudes. Very good. Alright, let's see how Josh adapts in Game 2, and if Hall does the same thing. Alright, Torkoal Lilligant. Great lead. Gets intimidated, but that's okay. T-Tar coming in on the fighting type. Never mind, fighting type is dead. I don't know my speed tiers. Oh, I guess he turned off the sun. Yeah, that makes sense. Dodges Pyro Ball, which is neat, but I imagine it wouldn't do all that much damage. Cinderace lives, but there's always the burn chance too, so burning Avalugg would make it really useless. Aura Spheres the Terrafly T-Tar. Terrablast does a lot. That's the first time I've seen Avalugg take more than like 20% of the time. And so this is special Blaziken, I see. And with coaching. Still did a lot of damage. This is a very offensive Tyranitar. Looking to take him out. Gets a lucky crit. I feel like that crit had to have mattered. Yeah, that definitely mattered. Psychic Fang's cleaning up. Bruxish looks unstoppable right now. Heat Wave for Chip. But I feel Bruxish might be stopped right now. Yep. Okay. Oh, likes to bring Avalugg back in instead of turning the sand off. Oh, never mind. I'll turn the sand off, like I thought he might. Crit definitely didn't matter. And this is looking like a whole wrap. That's a steel type. Yeah, it didn't matter if he switched him up there, but I guess he was making sure in case he missed Heat Wave. Good ship from Hall. That T-Tar was very strong, and Hitmontop did Hitmontop things. I think it's a very good pickup in this format. Didn't get to see a whole lot from Goldengo, but that guy's crazy. So in future weeks, I imagine we will see T-Tar paired up with Excadrill to do standard sand stuff, and so I'm excited to see where the building goes these next couple weeks. All right, and our final set of the week, Adam versus Tim. So let's see. Adam with the first round pick got Incineroar, and somehow also managed to get Amoonguss and Dragapult. Tim with reliable King Gambit in the back. So we immediately see here on turn 1, no Intimidate come off. So this is a Blaze Incineroar, which I have to imagine was because he knew he was fighting King Gambit and didn't want to give King Gambit the boost. which is relevant. Right? Defiant plus plus one King Gambit. It's very scary. Or maybe it was an oopsie, but I feel like it was more intentional. But yeah, wild thing to see. Incineroar without his Intimidate ability. But we see Taunt on the Amoonguss, so he can't do Amoonguss things. Tim Shed-tailing out. Cycles are a very cool Pokemon, and Shed-tail is not banned in this format, so... Now we see Rotom safely behind a sub with 100% HP, and Cyclestar is back to do more stuff. Taunts the Spirit Tomb, doesn't want Trick Room up. Adam makes a good pivot into Amoonguss to eat the Thunderbolt. Makes another double out into Dragapult on the taunt that was coming out. Pretty good. Tim gets a lucky para on Spiritoni. Amoonguss back in now, not going to be taunted. And we see Dragapult is Infiltrator, not Clear Body or Curse Body. So sub does not matter to him. You can go through it. Tim gets a good Protect, good read, and Dragapult is going to die to Katao. And we see Tim thought ahead and put the goggles on Gambit so he cannot go to bed. Tim with a great Terra on the Hawlucha's CC. Live that hit and probably kill back. Oh no, he's going for SD. He's better than me. Rage Powdering again. We see Power Herb, Sky Attack, Hawlucha, which is very cool to activate your Unburden. Unfortunately, it will die to Katao. Right, Rage Powder does not affect him because he is, of course, wearing the goggles, so he can attack wherever he wants. And so now King Gambit is in a very good spot to do massive amounts of damage, erasing Amoonguss from existence, and taking nothing from that Poison Jab. With Water Bubble, you should basically always just be pressing Liquidation. Protects on the Sucker. Trick Room goes up, but Sucker gets him here. Unfortunate para, but at this point it is 5v2. Rotom has been safely behind the sub all game. Good Wisp, but I think it is a little too late. Breaking the sub, tanking that pretty well. Maybe, or just bulky. And so this is the game here. Cyclesar surely can hit a move, do damage, knock off. Oh, it lives. Crazy. But now he just sounds up again because Trick Room is over. So great stuff by Tim. Played very well around all of Adam's strong dudes. And good foresight to put the goggles on Gambit in the builder, so he doesn't deal with Amoonguss. I don't know what Obama's doing here, but I'm here for it. Okay, Incineroar, Amoonguss, doubles Kings, taunt this thing immediately. Very good, but eats the Hydro Pump this turn. Player Bitch doesn't bring him down to below 50, so he can still Shed Tail, which is what he's doing here. Shed Tail plus Regenerator is really neat. Cyclesar is a cool guy. And he likes to put Obama behind the sub. Interesting. But we see that this thing has Flamethrower, which erases Obama, thanks to his Infiltrator ability. Gets the Wisp off on Rotom, gets some good chip. Rabombi, Focus Sash, so gets to effectively kill the Pult. But Trick Room gets to go up, so Rabombi is in a very scary spot because it is very fast. And so Rabombi goes down, Incineroar leaves. water bubble going to make that hydro pump do nothing. X, Wisp X, Rotom is dead. Liquidation, yes. Araquanid should always just press Liquidation. Coverage doesn't matter. This guy's a Liquidation bot. Or Sticky Webs. Good Wisp on Gambit. That's a good Protect. Low Kick doing very little now to burn. And now you just chip down Gambit. Again, I know you want to Poison Jab. I know he's a Fairy type. Just press Liquidation. It's better. Lucha eats that sucker. He is a fighting type after all. Electing to Sky Attack him to get his boost, and he lives the Rock Slide. Power Flinch from Spiritomb, but it doesn't matter. Lucha is going to clean up, and Adam bounces back and does a commanding win in Game 2. And so it all comes down to Game 3. Let's see what happens. Incineroar Mungus, classic lead. Love it. Tim electing to lead with Mr. President and Cyclezar. Protecting on the Flare Blitz. Taunting the Amoonguss. Pretty standard leads. Obama's got to get out of there. Draco's into Incineroar for nothing. That's got to be AV. Draco, Rotom goes down early. Rabombi takes massive damage. This is looking real tough. Don't know why you switched out. Why switch out there instead of just killing Rabombi so Tailwind doesn't go up? But yeah, I think you just stay in there and kill the Rabombi with Pult because you're faster. And now we have this guy in Tailwind doing big damage. And now he gets to put King Gambit next to it, so you can't even kill it with Pult because you risk Sucker. And now it's +2. All of a sudden, the tables have shifted. And Rampardos goes to bed, but Rampardos has done his job. Now it is going to be the King Gambit show. Yep, Dragapult can't do anything because Sucker. Blizzard, very strong. Here I learned that Sky Attack can flinch. I didn't know that. I haven't really seen the move too much. Selecting to Shed Tail into your Sleeping Rampardos, which is neat. Gives you a couple turns to wake up. Leaf Storm going to do enough chip, and now where Draco by Cyclezar can clean up if all else fails. I think, yeah, you just wake up, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so great end game played by Tim, and just great set overall. That wraps up week 1. Some really interesting games. Seems like it's going to be a fun season. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all later. Peace.